Welcome everyone to Ruby Quartz's Heroes of the Storm. It's not a revival, it's a continuation. Some call it a doomed game. Some call it MOBA Lite, MOBA for casuals. It's for people who believe to the contrary, that MOBA is a living, thriving community. It's a culture. That my videos are for. Now, this game, we've got an interesting quick match lineup. Let's look first on the red team. We're on Curse of the Raven Hollow. Kel'Thuzad, Valeria, I believe her name is. Valera. In the healing slot, we have Deckard Cain, and of course, Garrosh, the orange orc. Now, mid lane kerfuffle has started. Neither team intends to make it easy for the other. We've got Raynor, the blue team Tyrande, taking a big hit, being caught out of position and making no attempt to get out of position. She's also cost the Muradin his life. He did jump in to save her. Tyrande claims that there's a connection problem involved. Jim Raynor for the blue team remains in the mid lane. His Terran compatriot in the top lane. Now, I believe Zeratul was absent from the entirety of that middle fight, and he's got actually three members of the red team. Well, just for that, no, two have left, but they're considering bottom a considerable threat. Certainly, they don't want Zeratul being left to his own devices and pushing his side of the lane up. They've got Garrosh, it seems, on Zeratul duties. Now mid lane, the tank and the healer have come back, and mid lane, it looks like really is a really significant or serious, rather, theater of war to watch. Now at this point, the first objective hasn't popped up. We've got Tychus going for the Merc camp, whereas there's Valera on her side, and then three members of the red team, I was just about to say, on the in the mid lane, just as they disperse. Deckard Cain does go down to give some aid to Garrosh, who has been doing quite a good job of dealing with the sort of advancing consistency of the Korean Zeratul player. Now, mid has sort of really held the attention of the Raynor and the gnome guy. What's his name? The gnome is called Muradin. On the blue side, there's not so much dynamism to blue team play. Tyrande decided to help Zeratul out. And then I believe she was pinged by the Raynor to come and help with this objective. Now, perhaps if she'd been there earlier, Tychus might not have might still be in this fight. Zeratul is now doing what they've been trying to prevent him from doing, which is push his lane up, playing a slightly kind of murky style Zeratul, and they've managed, it seems, to deter the blue team from the objective. Now, the Raynor has some words for the Tyrande, who really was not in the best position to be offering the healing that her team requires. Delete game, you trash player. Those are his words. It's certainly a game that inspires passion. It inspires strong emotions. It's not a muted, meditative sort of by the numbers MOBA such as you might find, no doubt, in League of Legends, in your Dotas. Um, I'm not. I wouldn't know since I've never played those games. But now, whereas before Muradin is trying to play. I think he's going to be saying, let's play a bit cautiously. We need to give our healer a little bit of space. Now, what's his name has trapped himself with not the best force field placement. He's trapped himself in the line of fire of the Tigers. Muradin giving him a bit of encouragement to stay right there and take those minigun hits. Tyrande's gone up. Or is it just back just to kind of while away some hours in this nice pumpkin patch? She's realized that since the objective is up, it might be in her interest to not get flamed again, and certainly the team's interest to make her presence felt. Now she's intercepted by the Valera, manages to stay alive, not leaving, and then she's gone around the side to maintain a good presence in the fray and give support to her team. Now, Tyrande is a character who does need to get those quick attack hits in. She needs to get those quick attack hits in to lower the cooldown of her healing ability. Now, Tyrande players again spending some time in this little tree area. Not the best choice. Now Tyrande, it seems, is left to contest the objective. Not by herself, though, with the return of the Zeratul. With the return of the Zeratul, perhaps showing a bit of appreciation for Tyrande's support earlier in the game, when that first objective was up. Now Tyrande's being pinged again to just be careful of her own health bar. You silly healer, he might be saying. He might be thinking to himself in Korea, Zeratul does go down. Tyrande gets the stun on the Valera. Now this objective has, I believe, been up for 1.5 resurrection times, cooldowns, whatever you want to call it. It's 3 versus 3. We've got the Kel'Thuzad back, and the Zeratul just himself has respawned. That's what I was trying to look for. This particular second objective has eaten up 2 full respawns, if not more. Now, it was the dropship, but rather the battle cruiser has arrived. Call by the Raynor. I believe they got 10 a little bit early, or perhaps later. But in any case, the blue team pick up the objective due to Raynor's judicious use of his ultimate. Now, Tyrande is making himself useful, picking up this mercenary camp, but that makes a welcome change. It does make a welcome change to the previous offerings on show. Now, this third objective is just it's some 15 seconds away. What are they going to do? What are all the teams going to do with these 15 seconds before they have to fight? They're just going to fight anyway. It seems like they're just going to have a bit of a fight now. Tyrande was just hanging around. I'm not sure. Should we have a look? Should we have a little look? Because she did defeat the mercenary camps. Now, the good thing about Tyrande's ability, she doesn't have to be anywhere near her allies in order for it to be of any benefit to them whatsoever. She's chosen Shadowstalk. She has chosen Shadowstalk, so we've stepped back a bit. This is Muradin, Tychus, and the Tyrande spending a bit of time after that fairly intense battle. in the war of this game to collect this mercenary camp. Now, what if we go to the vision of the blue team? They're not sure if the red team are getting their corresponding mercenary camps. The fact is that they are. Now, let's go to the blue team's vision. Now, the Tyrande did decide to just check bottom lane out, just to see what the feel of it was like in case she was thinking of buying some property there. Now, with her experience, it's not, I'm not sure she'll be investing anytime soon. And again, her lateness, no, is just about cost the Zeratul. He did manage to make a quick escape, and of course it was her Shadow Stalk that perhaps put a bit of aided him in the slightest. Now, what has happened, and I'll call your attention to this, viewers. I'll call your attention to this. This is high level Korean play. This is the Asian server. The Tyrande has an English name, an English user. Now, I'm not sure if it's in order to practice her English, and she is a Korean player. Now, what happens here? The Zeratul makes a hasty retreat. Very well advised. He does have this. I'll make a little. Let's gather our senses. He does have this ability. Activate to teleport to Zeratul's last non-structure basic target. So let's see how he makes he of course has the blink ability. So let's see how the Zeratul, he knows the enemy's backed up. Certainly they're not on the retreat by any means. Now, how does he use his mobility abilities? The Muradin does jump in. With a nice, let's say, 3/4 stock of health. Really to disrupt and to interrupt the red team and distract them while they take the damage that the Tychus and the Rain are wanting to put onto them. Now, he does, if you see this Muradin again, high level Korean play, the Muradin has jumped here and he's jumped back out. He doesn't want to rely on the really the subpar healing work of the Tyrande. She needs to get out of the way for this Deck Arcane route. But certainly he's under no illusion that he's due for a big heal anytime soon. So he jumps back over these trees. Now, if you watch, it's quite an interesting. The Zeratul teleports in here. That's the blink. Wait. Oh, and and it allows him. Yeah, beautiful, and it allows him to he can be recast. That's the ability that he picked up because he knows what ability he wanted. Now the Raynor has again clicked the ultimate button. When did Zeratul pick up the Oh, that's the first. No, where is it? Wormhole. Oh, here we are. And he's making good use of it. He's making very good use of it. Blue team pick up their second objective, and really quite a ballsy move. Oh, well, they had to go at the boss. The Valera interrupted them, and the Tyrande goes down. Now let's see. The state of play as it stands is that there's been no curses. Red team is actually one tower down. Red team is one tower down. Let's take note of that. Of course, they've been doing their own siege damage. See, they've just pushed into the towers of the blue on the bottom lane. and middle and top have taken a bit of damage themselves. Now the third, the fourth, shall I say, the fourth objective is up. Now, of course, it's essential for the red team that they don't allow blue to get this vital third Raven curse. Now, just after some little safe pokes, they really have blue has really forced the issue inside this precinct of the curse, and it has paid off for them. It has paid off for them. Red, of course, on the back foot there, they can't afford to let blue get the curse, which they have done. Zeratul on the prowl, just perhaps to get a bit of vision or get some damage done in advance and increase the red team's chances of getting all the middle buildings down. Now, red team are certainly not going to make the job easy for them. Garrosh gets caught out of position. Valera shows up, puts the smoke bomb down, trying her best to put a dent in the quite that formidable front line of the Muradin and the Tychus. You can't stay in one place when you've got a Tychus who does deal percentage damage. He deals a certain percent of the of your health. 2.5% of the maximum health for 3 seconds. That would supposedly be a maximum of 7.5%. If it is trained on the one character. Now, the blue team have been very eager to get a bit of damage done on this inner building, and they have paid for it with the loss of 3 heroes. Getting caught in the stay a while and listen, followed by the force wall. But they're still in the game. They fall back. They make the sensible decision to go for the Merc camp. Of course, they don't know. They might suspect that red team are going for their boss. Now, these mercenaries are going to help. Put pressure on this mid lane, drawing red's attention to the mid lane, no matter the next phase of the match. Now, blue, the Muradin and the Zeratul have made the decision for the team that they need the boss, and it seems to have been a good decision, because during that time, while they were getting this mercenary camp, which hasn't been dealt with by the red were in fact attacking their boss, who is now, it seems quite likely, going to get most of the health of that building down. Now, of course, I'm just going to skip back to the action that I missed. Let's return back to this point in this certainly very high stakes game. Very quick, fast paced, no less, game. Now, if we look at the global vision, red get their boss, and they immediately, you know what they do? They ignore the mercenaries completely, because they do have quite a good idea that blue are in fact making a corresponding maneuver. Now, it was the Garrosh that went down there. Valera makes a good attempt to prevent the boss getting picked up, and the red team get a few takedowns in the process of securing the boss. Which is now, it's looking like almost definitely going to get this building down. Blue is going to have to make quite a quick response to Red's choice, following their defensive to go for their boss immediately. And can they save their building? It looks like they can. And this boss has made its way all the way to the core. It's on half health, just about. Now, Blue has had one curse. They certainly don't want to let Red get any of their own, and it looks like Blue has picked up another one. Blue has picked up another. Red has had to really go on the defensive in order to deal with this boss. And certainly, Blue, having stayed for so long, has put this in order to really reduce this building's health as much as possible, has made Red, I think as I'll say, has put a defensive mindset into some of the decision making of the Red team. Now, Red, having picked up their mercenaries, are being met with a stunningly vicious response. Can they make it work? Can Blue make it work for them? They've got their healer up, they've got their tank, and they've got their DPS, but none of them seem to be in any sort of position to get a bit of synergy going out. The Valera's flanked and has, she's forced, she's got Tyrande in the claws of the Garrosh, who was doubled back in order to try to save the Tigers. They thought they've had to get this mercenary camp. They don't want this weakness. They don't want Blue to get any leverage whatsoever. And they've gotten they've got their second curse. So Blue team certainly going to be feeling a bit worried. Looks like both top and bottom not in the best position. Viewers, the next curse is going to be a heated battle. Talstar gets caught out of position. This is interesting. They're wanting to maintain a good map presence so as not, to allow this middle lane to get pushed up, which exactly, it seems, what is happening. There's the Meridian led, followed by the Zeratul, and the Tychus and the Raynor, just posturing around mid and low mid. Okay, just posturing around. Indeed, they are pushing up, and it'll seem like, okay, with Muradin pushing so far in to the red line, they're going to want to just get this building down. And it's the battle cruiser operational. We've got and those hit points just keep coming down. And if the Muradin can jump in, we will see what the blue team have tried for so long to do. They've actually got everyone up except for the Tyrande. Now the Raynor goes. Red team defense, certainly nothing to sniff at. Stay while listening does go down as well. Valera on the chase. Will she be able to secure another kill just prior to this certainly very important objective? Red, of course, would love nothing more than to secure this curse and get at least this middle building down. And it looks like, unless the Meridian does come and jump in, it's looking like Well, we do have mobility. There goes the teleport. He can't get out. He's bought a few more seconds. Tyker's back up. Muradin can jump in at any moment. He just wants to make it work. Tyker's also, and that's the curse for the red team. Blue team don't need to make this. They don't want to let this be the march to GG on the part of the red team. Can they defend? Can they defend this middle building? Can they perhaps sacrifice it at the expense of one or two mercenary camps? Getting the mercenary camps, certainly a very good idea. The Tyrandes has decided to heal across that tree barrier, just so she can go on the defensive in advance. Now the blue team don't know this, but the red team have actually spread themselves out. So yeah, the Tyrande does get flanked, and for her to stay on the battlefield would be a surprise. The red team, it seems, trying to advance on two fronts. However, the blue team defense doing their best to dissuade the red team against that plan of action. They who have now in fact decided to go for the boss. Now, red team playing a very dynamic game. Red team taking every opportunity to pivot. They did not commit to their presence here. They could have, let's go to the blue team's vision. They could have, as perhaps the blue team feared, pushed in a bit and advanced their sphere of influence towards the blue team's base. Now, if we look at the blue team's vision, I don't believe that they're aware, map-wise at least, that the red team has decided to go for the boss, as we do see on the global vision. Now, where's our red team? There they are. Boss is half down. Does the blue team suspect they are making their way towards the boss? And it does look like they're in a position to mount a effective, shall we say, defense against the red team's attempt on their boss. Tychus getting a bit of damage done. Avatar maintaining Muradin's ability to stay present in the battle. Now he's on the Belir is on the chase. Is he going to be able to jump away? His trait, of course, giving him a heal, having not taken damage for some time. Now, if we go back to the global vision, red team have not been dissuaded from the boss. And they did scout this out. They have scouted this out. So what do we see here? What we see here is really the persistence of the blue team. I'll say that they've had some squabbles. They've had some troubles in the past. Blue team have really shown a tenacity, which I'll personally say I find quite admirable. And for them to get this boss, I'm not going to say it's undeserving. I'm not going to say it's undeserving. They've shown the tenacity to fight off two separate attempts. The boss got back up to full health by the red team. Two separate attempts on this boss. Now, this objective, is it so important? Does blue want to increase their objective count, or do they actually make perhaps another attempt to finally get this middle building down? Do they push with the boss? It seems like they're maintaining their defense. This Tassadar again, perhaps trying to push his waves in with the use of his Sonic Storm ability. Does get caught out of position one more time. Now, Red team they've got no choice but to get this boss taken care of. Just hovering above half health, the boss, and making his second attempt, making him, well, if you imagine the boss as his own protagonist in his own right in this game, him and the core have unfinished business, and he's looking to rectify a few misunderstandings that he was in any way. Now, while I was mouthing off quite so much, the blue team got their second boss. They've actually stolen the boss. So the I'm going to say the insistence, the insistence that they had in pushing, in keeping mid pushed down. Incrementally, they lost 2 full ambushes to that middle building, and they have shown, I think, blue team, the value of persistence in this esport, and the Gamsahamnida comes from the perhaps Japanese or Filipino player showing a bit of characteristic courtesy to the Korean Raynor, who's picked up 2 votes. It's a game that, let me just say, it's a game. For some closing remarks, it's a game. Let's see how that boss actually, the second boss, was picked up by the blue team. Certainly must have come as a surprise, as much of a surprise to the red team as it perhaps did to some of my viewers. Now, it's a game of persistence. It's a game of consistency. So while they've been fought off, they're not doing much of anything. They could have regrouped. Instead, they've This is not so essential. Neither team needs it quite this second, but the red team failing to make the strategic read that their boss is really the only sensible response. And I believe what they were fearing, was a repeat performance. What happened twice. The red team just going all in, failing twice to get this building down, and perhaps go all the way to the core. Instead, unbeknownst to the red team, they've gone for the red team's boss on the top of the map. I'm gonna take back what I said. It's not a game of persistence. It's a game of consistency. You need to stick to your guns, and when you become puppets, right, on the string of the enemy, that's when that's when your core becomes under threat. And certainly, I'm going to say once more, blue team saw the strategic importance of mid. They committed. They paid for it. And that's the sacrifices that war demands sometimes. So this has been Heroes of the Storm. I hope you've had a good game. And GLHF for your next one. Thank you.